Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining today's webinar. I'm Owen Wolfhill. I'm the Senior Digital Marketing Manager at Scurry, and I'm joined by Owen Day, Head of AI at Scurry. Welcome, Owen.
Good morning, everybody.
Today's topic is all about AI's role in elevating the post-purchase experience. We'll be looking at some real-life examples of retailers both in the UK and further afield in the US, as well as asking some key questions that retailers should consider when integrating AI into their retail offering. Furthermore, we'll be looking at some key strategies for reducing WSMO through AI. But before we do all of that, I'd like to just set the scene with a few statistics regarding customer expectations. And this is some of the latest research from the likes of McKinsey and Company, Adobe, and Salesforce surrounding consumer expectations of AI in the shopping experience. So according to the latest research, 58% of shoppers say that AI has already improved their shopping experience. So it's great to see that they're not only aware of it, but they actually see it as a positive. And furthermore, 76% of consumers are frustrated when they don't get personalized experiences. So some of the examples that you'll see further on in today's presentation will deep dive into personalization and how that can be really powered through AI. So it's interesting to see that consumers feel frustrated when they don't get that personalized touch. Also interesting to see is when you break down attitudes across generations. So when it comes to people who are interested in seeing AI in the shopping experience, that currently sits at 44% across the entire population. But when you get into millennials, it rises slightly to 54%. And there's a significant jump when it comes to Gen Z. 69% of Gen Z are interested in seeing AI play a role in the shopping experience. Gen Z go one step further, and 33% of them would trust AI to shop for them. So I'm not sure I'm 100% there yet, but interesting to see that the younger generation are certainly that much on board. Owen, I'd be curious to get your thoughts on the stats that we've shared so far. Does this tally up with what you've seen amongst retailers and their consumers?
I do. I think I agree with you. It is pretty brave to allow AI at this point to do shopping for you. But I think these features are going to be more widely adopted in the future, especially when they come onto channels of choice for different customers. So smart speakers are very popular amongst more elderly demographic. So when the features start rolling out onto those, I can see them being adopted widely. As my mother says about Alexa, I like Alexa. It's she's a lot more polite than your father. So I can see these things rolling out in the future across those.
Yeah. That's a very good way of putting it. And as promised, we'll actually like to take you through some examples of retailers who are currently leveraging AI. So for these examples, because most of the retailers joining today are based in the UK, we've honed in on some UK examples, but we've also gone further afield over to the United States as well to take in some of those examples from what's happening in North America. So first up is Moonpig. So as you may know, they are a provider of personalized gifts and greeting cards. What they've done is they've invested heavily in AI to generate product descriptions en masse and at scale. As you can imagine, they have a huge amount of products. They need detailed product descriptions so that they appear not only in Google search traditionally, but also through Google Lens search and image search. And as a result, they've invested in AI in that area. Furthermore, they've enhanced their product recommendations through AI inference technology. So for example, if a customer arrives on the Moonpig website and they start filling out a greeting card, the AI technology that sits on their site can analyze the sentiment in that greeting card and analyze the consumer behavior as they interact with the website. And based on the type of gifts that they've selected and the mood sensed in the greetings message, they can actually infer which products are best to recommend as product recommendations moving forward. This, of course, greatly increases the chance of adding more to the basket value. Furthermore, they've invested in AI-powered handwriting. So this boosts repeat purchases. So in that case, a customer can upload their own handwriting through a very user-friendly tool that's stored in their account, and then it can be used later at a later date. So it's all about adding that personalized touch and getting people POC committed to the brand. Moonpig have come out very recently to reveal that their revenue has been up 10% year on year. Their total orders are up 4.7%, and their average order value has been up by 2.5% year on year. And they've attributed a lot of that success to those AI innovations. Further afield, then over to the US, we're looking at Best Buy, a huge electronics retailer in North America and Canada. They have invested heavily in AI in terms of real-time delivery tracking. So what that means at a practical level is that if a customer has an order that's out for delivery, when their house is next up on the list, they'll be able to see street level view. So really accurate delivery tracking. This essentially places more value on customers' time, doesn't leave as many customers waiting about, and as a result, it removes frustration from the delivery experience. Another very interesting solution powered by AI there. A little bit closer to home, in the UK, Brand Alley are a designer brand outlet that offer daily flash sales. They've used AI to track their most passionate advocates. As you can imagine with a brand like Brand Alley, because they are membership-only site, their customer base is particularly passionate, and they wanted to tap into that and leverage that even further by offering their most active customer advocates some personalized promotions to share with their network. As a result of this, they were able to use AI to specifically detect those people and provide really, really personalized promotions. This resulted in 25% more of their customers engaging in repeat purchases, and they acquired 12% more customers through referrals. A really nice example there of a brand that's using AI to focus on customer retention and customer advocacy. Also in the UK, we have Foot Asylum. Foot Asylum are a Scurry customer, and they've used a product called Scurry AI Concierge to help reduce Wizmo queries and resolve Wizmo queries through WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and other social channels. For Wizmo queries that are answered via the AI solution, up to 80%, 82% are resolved by AI, and up to 40% of queries are resolved through social channels at present. So ultimately, this frees up their customer support team to provide better customer experience and focus on those high-level tickets. That's a whistle-stop tour of some retailers that are using AI quite effectively in that area. Owen, I suppose, given your passion for reducing Wizmo queries, I'd imagine the Best Buy example was of particular interest to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really good example of how they're using consistent messaging across multiple channels to reduce the Wizmo queries by making the customer aware of where their package is and when it's due to be delivered, trying to guarantee first-time delivery.
100%, absolutely. Reduces that stress as well from the customer. And that's actually a nice segue onto our next section, which is strategies for Wizmo queries. So Owen is very kindly going to take us through a few strategies in that area.
So setting up expectations with the customer. So estimated delivery dates, some carriers provide them, some don't. But how can we enhance those and make those more accurate? Well, Scurry's got a lot of past historical data on carrier performance, and also it has a lot of parcels going through the Scurry system. So we can leverage that data to improve the estimated delivery date, and that's something we're working on at the moment. Accurate tracking updates from the retailer, as I was saying, that Best Buy do, but in the customer's preferred channel. So not everybody uses emails, and that's why I also think that it's important that it comes from the retailer as well. You've bought the thing from the retailer. Why do you have to go searching around in your junk folder for a carrier's email that you might not remember who the carrier was? So putting it in the preferred channel of the customer and keeping it on brand. Also being able to reply in that same channel that you sent it out on. So if you're not going to be in and you get your tracking alert through, being able to reply saying, I'm not going to be in, can you put it with the neighbor, or can you leave it in the porch in the safe place? Deals with it and hopefully improves the percentage of first-time delivery. Also intelligent preference setting. If you're never in on a Wednesday or you have mobility difficulties, why doesn't the AI behind the post-purchase experience inform the carrier of that straight out without you having to do it? I'm going to need an extra couple of minutes to get to the door to pick up my package, or I'm going to not be, I'm never in on a Wednesday, so just put it in the safe place automatically and I don't have to deal with it. Self-healing labels is another thing we're looking at with at Scurry. So people can get their address wrong, they can get the postcode wrong or miss out a line in the address. So why don't we heal those as they're going through the process with Scurry Connect? And that will help improve first-time deliveries and also reduce WSMO queries as well.
Very interesting. I love the intelligent preference setting. I think that for me would deliver or reduce a lot of stress. I think knowing when a product is when when I'm not going to be at home, when I'm going to be in the office, etc. If that could be achieved, it would be fantastic from a consumer point of view, definitely. Um, so moving on then, I suppose we've seen a lot of examples of retailers that are leveraging AI, but when it comes to utilizing AI and implementing AI into your retail offering, um, at some point you're going to have to choose a provider most likely. What would be the questions that you think are most helpful for retailers to ask their AI providers?
Sure. So with anything that's hyped up a bit at the moment, there's a lot of sort of snake oil being sold out there. So these are the questions that I would be looking to get from the supplier. Can it be customized or personalized to my business requirements? Or is the AI just going to be behind generating all the content with sort of chatbots and things like that? Who supplies the AI? Is it a black box? Are they using OpenAI or something like that behind the scenes and just applying a wrapper around it with their own product? Is it possible for them to repair something if it goes wrong, which might not be the case if it is a black box and they're just reselling somebody else's product? What are the guardrails in place to stop it going off piste? We've all read stories about chatbots going off brand and making bad decisions and giving bad advice, and that's reflecting badly on the company that's implemented them. So what are the guardrails in there? And also I think it's important with any AI system that decision making has human oversight. So at the end of the day, it's a human checking that any important decisions that impact the customers are actually overseen by a human. Ongoing costs. So at the moment, these large AI systems, from OpenAI, etc., are heavily subsidized to grow market share. So is the cost always going to be what it is at the moment? We've already seen with OpenAI, their latest offering is $200 a month per person. So we can see the costs already starting to shoot up. Or will the costs stay the same, but you'll pay with privacy of your customers' data, and they'll be mining that to extract value from that? So those are important things to check. Also, the scalability of the system. When you go on one of these chatbots, they can often take a second or two to reply. So when you scale that up to 1 million customers, you've got to be thinking about what's the latency going to be dealing with all of those customers, and also the how much computing power are you going to need behind it to cover all of your customer base.
Super, very interesting, Owen. Thanks very much for sharing those. For anybody who's had a hard stop at 11:15, we will be sharing a recording afterwards, so you can catch the future trends section in that. But for those of you who are happy to stay on, Owen, I'd love to hear some of your ideas in relation to future trends for AI in the post-purchase experience and shopping experience.
Certainly. And I should say at this point that these are my personal views and don't necessarily represent those of Scurry as a company. But I think, as Owen was saying earlier, we're currently around up to 80% of customer service queries being answered by AI. But how do we get that up to 100%? And I think it will get up to 100% for the following reasons. At the moment, phone calls are still answered by humans. Voice recognition's been pretty good for the past few years, but where it's fallen down is when it's converted from voice into text, the interpretation and understanding of that text that comes out of it. But that's improved an awful lot with some of these new large language models that's come out. So I can certainly see AI-powered voice customer service over phone calls. And another big trend for the next year is going to be AI agents. Now, basically, AI agents are some things that models that can replicate human tasks, and those are starting to come out at the moment. Anthropic is, with their Claude model, is been demonstrating it filling in forms on your laptop, or helping you with Excel, doing stuff with Excel. So once that starts rolling out into customer service software, you can see that it will be using the existing software. So you won't have expensive integrations with the AI stack. You'll be able to use the existing tools and business processes. And a combination of the two, I think, will take it up to 100% coverage on CS. And I think that will, in turn, it won't be the end of the road for customer service agents, but I think they will move more into being customer service supervisors, so overseeing what the AI is doing and making the important decisions. So instead of the chatbot saying, computer says no about the refund, it will be saying, I've forwarded your request for a refund to my human supervisor, and the human supervisor has declined it for the following reasons. Also think that another reason why customer service agents, human customer service agents, can start going out of fashion is all of these agents, AI agents, are already available to your customers. They've got them on their phones, so they can just ask their phone to chase up where their package is or try and get a refund. And the last thing you want is a customer service center full of humans answering questions that have come from a computer. That doesn't seem like a particularly good place to be working in. And I think all of this is going to be reflected in the pricing structures for these systems. I think it's going to be outcome-based pricing. So if the AI delivers on its promises, then you'll pay. If it doesn't, then you won't pay. And that's your guarantee that these AI systems are performing as expected and promised.
Very interesting, and absolutely. And with, I suppose, with the pace of AI, if the last 2 years is anything to go by, I could see some of these trends coming into fruition sooner rather than later. So thanks very much, Owen, for that. And thanks everybody for joining today. It's been a whistle-stop tour, but we also have a report that you can take a deep dive into future trends of retail on as well. So that's called The Future of Online Retail to 2028, which we'll share with you after the call. We'll be sharing a recording of today's webinar as well. And of course, if you have any questions about integrating AI into your current solutions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Owen. Our emails are on screen, and we'll provide them to you in the follow-up email as well. So I'll let you get back to your day, and thanks so much for joining us.